Cher here, and this entire video is basically my safety measure and first step to getting into the worst songs of 2023, which I'm still working on. Don't worry about it, I promise it's happening. Originally, I was going to do what I did last year and basically throw every pop song from all countries into, well, one year-end list. But for K-pop in particular, I don't know what exactly happened, but a lot of songs either landed in the so bad I question the company's staff sanity level, or just disappointing levels of bad. I didn't want my Back to the Billboard series to be overflowing with K-pop songs that in my opinion most likely don't deserve to be on the list in the first place, because I have absolutely heard worse than at least the majority of what's been going on here. Furthermore, I don't think my absolute worst picks would even make it onto the Back to the Billboard worst list anyway, because some of them didn't even chart in Korea either. So I think it would be pointless to toss a more deserving candidate away for a throwaway pick just because I was pissed off. I think a question that's asked in the K-pop sphere a lot is, how can you tell what a K-pop song on the worst scale is? Well, I judge K-pop songs basically like how I judge every other kind of song, either from the West or when I look over at some J-pop. Does the song sound like its mixing quality got squashed by a tractor? Can the performers or artists sing, or are the vocals terrible? Are the lyrics offensive or make it sound like it was first draft? Or was it its conception just a terrible idea from the jump? And I can promise all of you that I found at least one example of all of those questions I asked just now. Now, for those of you who are going to sit here and try to use the "I'm just a hateful person" excuse for my song choices, I just want to let you know that I always went by the rap critics' motto of, you don't have to like my opinion, but I don't have to like your song. So if you're going to skew my words on Twitter or TikTok, joke's on you! I don't have a Twitter nor a TikTok, so I don't care. Anyway, before I start becoming one of those hate-focused chuckle fucks based on the memes alone, let's finally get to the list. Buckle your seatbelts, gang. It's gonna be a long ride. And for those asking if I'm gonna be making a best K-pop songs list, technically that's already going to be on the best pop songs of 2023 list, so... Okay, but before we actually get started on this list, I'm gonna go through some of the dishonorable mentions first. These are the songs that I don't have much to say on, but they're still pretty not good as far as K-pop's concerned, both musically and conceptually. Obviously not the worst songs ever, because that's what the dishonorable mentions are for, but if I didn't mention them, this video wouldn't be complete, now wouldn't it? Overall, this is not a bad song to listen to. By itself, it sounds great, and I like the storytelling. I just have one question to ask. Why the hell did Yena and Yuhwa Entertainment have to drag Olivia Rodrigo into this? I get it. They needed an artist who had a similar musical style to Yena, and that was Olivia Rodrigo, but if Yena wanted to tell a story about being jealous of a singer similar to her, couldn't she have just made up a person and not drag a real artist into fake drama that was 1000% avoidable? The whole plagiarism thing is a separate issue on its own, because in regards to the music video, the company should have at least asked for permission from Olivia's labels, even if the answer was going to be no, but instead, the company just went ahead thinking that America was not going to look at the music video and be like, are you sure you got Olivia's management's permission to do this shit? On top of that, this song dropped right before Olivia was going to release her first comeback. Now, I'm not sure if Yena and Yuhwa thought about it or if it was just an accident, but thank God that Olivia's fanbase basically don't give a damn about this kind of drama, or else shit would have hit the fan pretty badly for 2023. Honestly, this whole situation could have been a lot worse, but thankfully K-pop learned its lesson. This time. I wanted to like this because I wanted to understand what the song was trying to do. I think I get part of it, but the genre mashups are so bizarre that I can't seem to put my finger on why this is genius. At the end of the day, it's not. It's just minimalistic, while at the same time, it's trying to be a safe Halloween single. Feeling
I expect nothing, and I'm still let down.
Queendom Puzzle, the most useless survival show in existence. What it did do was create a Nugu supergroup with the purpose of promoting the following groups: Lovelies, CLC, WJSN, Rocket Punch, Wooa, High Key, and Purple Kiss. The first 6 groups make sense because their careers were either flushed down the toilet because of company mismanagement or their songs weren't as successful as they could be. But I thought Purple Kiss was well liked. Maybe I wasn't paying attention enough, but that's not the point. This song was supposed to help the reputations of these girls from these groups that are either still going or disbanded. But remember, for the past few years, we had an all-girl group revolution. That means girl group songs are going to compete harder than they ever had before. Cheeky was supposed to bring these girls to a high standing, and it's not exactly hard because Got the Beat didn't do shit, but it didn't. Cheeky literally sounds like a song from an already existing Nugu group on a mid-level of a day. Such a shame, really.
I'm great because I'm grateful.
Friends, I hate the chorus too. I see you, I got you. I'm so done with hearing about this group and the atrocities that fell upon them. This instrumental felt so underutilized. I really want to like it, but these girls' voices just don't fit. I think had it gone full rap, I would have been more susceptible, but all I can do now is just feel sorry for everyone involved.
Let me know.
I was originally going to comment on V's singing voice, but admittedly it's not the worst of BTS's vocals I've ever heard, but it is his voice that makes all the singles of his very boring. The true definition of a guilty pleasure song. All it's missing is the salt. Also, they really should have kept the word 90s instead of replacing it with 19s, because what the hell is 19s kitsch? I'll never understand. Plus, I thought the 90s nostalgia was hip in 2023? I don't even.
Ooh, wow. Let your body shake.
Not the worst debut from this year, but an attempt was made. Sounds like JYP wanted to recreate Oh, but obviously with better mixing choices, which it does have, but the lyrics and the tempos that consistently switch in the song is making my autistic quirks twitch in ways that I really don't like.
Young, dumb, stupid, you're who cares,
Don't get me wrong, everything else about the song is actually good. But then you get to the chorus that actually samples the nursery rhyme, Are You Sleeping, Brother John? When I was a kid, the nursery rhyme was actually called Where is Thumpkin, and I was 7 months ago old when I found out that wasn't the original nursery rhyme, but that's not the point. I already had to suffer with ABCDEFU and Twinkle Twinkle Little Bitch. These girls deserved better, and thank God they got it with the comebacks that came after Young Dumb Stupid, to an extent, because as much as I hate to say it, I want these girls to succeed. Trust me, I do. But these girls kinda peaked with Dice. Oh wait, they just released a comeback called Dash that was actually good? Along with a pre-release single called Running with Roses? Finally! The gods do exist. Alright, with that pushed out of the way, for now, I'm ready to get agitated at K-pop this year. Let's get into the top 15 worst K-pop songs from 2023. Yes, 15, because you have no idea how many times I've edited this goddamn script just so I can make the Back to the Billboard videos more interesting.
Step into.
I honestly don't get the appeal of this group. Maybe people just like how Disney Channel it sounds, and I get it. I was one of y'all once. I actually grew up listening to the Cheetah Girls and whatever was on Disney Channel at the time, so I don't blame anyone in this room who actually likes this song. In ways, I do find the girls charming. I thought that once I heard the comeback, I would get the girls, but then... Their comeback kind of proved that these girls weren't exactly ready to debut. To reference Vince Neil from Motley Crue, this feels like the girls are doing a late night karaoke session instead of making songs of their own work. If I make enemies out of this opinion, I honestly couldn't care less. Pear kind of felt the same way because that kind of felt like a possible Le Seraphim comeback or something NMIXX would have released at the same time as Love Me Like This. What's Up didn't make me feel better once I found out that it was actually a cover of a 1998 K-pop hit, Why, by first-gen girl group Diva. At least the song sounds like the girls are having a fun party in which they want you to join in on the fun, which was the most 90s vibe anyone could ever experience. Yes, it sounds very of the time, especially in the very European party music sense, but the 90s always had some sort of charm about it, which I liked while listening to it. I added it immediately to my summer party playlist on Spotify once done with it. Adya? Or ADYA? I'm sorry if I am mispronouncing this group name, I'm not doing it on purpose. Has absolutely no idea what they're doing, and neither do the producers because the instrumental sounds like ass. I really hate putting the singers down for something they can't control, but they should never have covered this. Their voices are not suited for it. If these girls ever get a comeback after this, I pray for their sake it's for improvement and not the other way around.
To the unknown.
Oh baby oh I love you no 맞추는 Oh baby oh
Why do I fear this is the only good song this group is ever going to have? And the worst part of it is that it's their official debut hit.
Like clickbait, 호기심에 당겨 like it's clickbait. Yeah, don't you wanna ride?
Had Rise not been thrust upon me this year, none of their songs that are not Get a Guitar would have been on the list. Is it just me, or is SM Entertainment turning into the death of the rap art form? Also, whoever is responsible for adding that Mambo No. 5 inspired horn to the instrumental of Talk Saxy, I hope you had a miserable 2023 like me. The only reason why Get a Guitar is not considered to be on this list is because for a debut, though it's not the most memorable of SM Group's debut hits, at least it sounds like a real song unlike everything else that was promoted for Rise this year.
This is where dreams are born.
Sha-la-la-la-la, la. Sha-la-la-la-la, shine.
Music choices are questionable at best. It exists at worst. You have to pay me a real good amount of money for me to listen to this, ironically. And if you guys thought this was the worst, oh, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Million miles of
근접한 the bag, 주발 displayed. 벗어던 내 자켓 더워지고 있어, I got a flame.
K-pop plus trap music equals never attempt again. I would have included the rest of Zyker's discography on here, but they all sound the same in being repetitive, loud, and boring, except for Tricky House. At least Tricky House tried to be something. And I will give credit where credit is due.
but it still feels like
Okay, so for this entry, this is going to be a weird scenario because technically the song I'm going to talk about now is a B-side, which was not the original purpose for this video in the first place. Normally B-side songs wouldn't even make me so angry to the point of ranting because B-sides are not that huge of a deal in the music industry anyway. Yes, there are treasured B-sides in an artist's discography, which if the whole fandom praises to the high heavens enough, it could become a single in its own right. However, that's a very rare feat. This song is from a highly praised artist, actually, no, a legend, and the artist themselves was promoting the hell out of it alongside the single, which the fan base ended up loving to the high heavens, including myself. Deadass, I was listening to that shit all Halloween long. And of course, when the mini album dropped, because this is my favorite K-pop artist of all time, I was obligated to listen to the entire thing on the same day of the drop. This just happened to be the second song on the album, and considering how good the title track was, I kinda had high expectations for the rest of the album. When it comes to the EP itself, out of the 6 songs on it, 5 out of the 6 were considered to be between good and fantastic. The last song left out though, well, All I had to say was this while listening. Taemin. No!
You know I got the reason is
What the actual fucking hell was this shit? I guess I should have seen this coming when I watched Taemin's interview with Korean Spotify a few hours before listening to the song. I swore on my life that the producers of the interview made him do that as a joke because Taemin did seem to be very out of place trying to rap on the beat.
전라남도 강양 씨 시작하자 마세요. 전라남도 강양 씨 시작하자 마세요.
Seriously, when I saw this song as a hip-hop track, I imagined this being like Don't Call Me with just Taemin doing all the vocal bits. If I recall correctly, no Shawol, Taemin, or even listeners in general had ever asked Taemin Lee himself to actually rap. Furthermore, this song has to have the worst chorus from a Taemin song I've ever heard. And look, I don't care if a chorus is generic. At least make it sound good, man. I know this king of K-pop can do better because his songs are considered to be the hardest to cover and some of the best songs in history, even outside of the K-pop community. However, in terms of the rizness, Taemin clearly sounds like he's doing rap karaoke, and karaoke of a rap song is the worst kind of karaoke out there. Don't believe me? Watch Camila Cabello make a complete fool of herself.
I'm feeling like I'm running, I'm feeling like I gotta get away. Better know that I don't, and I won't ever stop, 'cause you know I gotta win every day they go. So they really wanna pop me blue. Know that you will never flop me. And I know that I can be a little cocky.
Jesus fucking Christ, I wish this never existed. Either way, Taemin, I'm praying for both your and my sanities that this experiment would just never be repeated. I couldn't choose between two songs I wanted to add to this list. I knew I wanted to put these on here, at least on the main list in particular, but I really couldn't pick which one was worse than the other. Well, if there is one reason I can give for this final choice for the final draft, it's that the reason why I couldn't decide which one was worse is because both of these songs have one flaw in common. They're both Blackpink ripoffs.
I got a lot of gum 만화 그만 보에 와
Can nobody do it? Can nobody explain? No matter what you do it, you leave what you like.
Gold, Gold, Gold was actually partially written by Blackpink's usual writer Teddy Park, while Synchronized was written by entirely different writers. However, regardless of that fact, both of these songs sound the fucking same, except that Synchronized sounds worse than a High School Musical editing project. I think K-pop kind of forgot that the girl crush concept was dying, and regardless of whether Blackpink was disbanding or not, nobody was asking for a new girl crush song in 2023, especially the Blackpink disaster of 2022. And one more note before I move on. Can someone tell Somi that she should never rap again? That is not a request, but a demand.
집에 돌아가는 길에 울고 싶어 계속
After the super awkward release that was super, I didn't think that things would actually get worse for 17 until this dropped. I'm sorry, but I didn't think that the most awesome sauce personalities of the 17 boys would mix well with sourpuss atmosphere of Fuck My Life. Like, every single one of them sounds absolutely miserable. Maybe that's the point, but even then, the misery has a little bit of relatable emotion in it. Fuck My Life gives zero of that. I hope this isn't the song that makes me turn my back on them, like how I turned my back on TXT, but I guess only time will tell. By the way, yes, I did listen to the God of Music comeback, and even though I believed it was okay, at least it was just okay and not as bad as the super era of their music was. Did I say anything? I'm sorry, I meant everything this group released this year. These boys were just not ready to debut, and no amount of Hybe Entertainment autotune is going to make them as popular as New Jeans. In times like these, it makes me wonder, was ITZY ever good to begin with?
Cake, 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 cake. It's a piece of cake, 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 cake. Cake, 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 cake.
What? You don't get it? The message is simple. Cake. Cake, cake, cake. Cake, cake. By the way, I was being hyperbolic about the was ITZY ever good question. Dalla Dalla was a great debut song, but since then, they peaked and never went back up again. It just makes me sad that MIDZYs were actually looking forward to this comeback after the sneakers disaster of 2022, but look how that panned out. And now the fact that Leah's on hiatus.
Born to be, born to be, born to be,
Oh dear. And now we're entering the territory in which songs could easily be mistaken for a broken fax machine. This one really hurts.
Cherry Coke. Cherry Coke.
This track has the same problem that We Fresh by Kepler did last year, meaning 2022. Lazy writing. The chorus also doesn't help matters either. Furthermore, this song had to be censored in order to be performed on performance shows, because apparently Superbell wasn't smart enough to realize, oh wait, Coke is a brand. We could get sued for this, especially because Cherry Coke is actually a thing. But personally, I couldn't give two shits about the censorship issues because the song was that bad.
This water run.
This song would have been so much better without the rap at the beginning. Otherwise, the song would still be mid, but that rap really took me out of the mood. What is it with K-rap basically ruining a good or even averagely okay song?
Oh no! Not again!
In my baggy jeans, in my baggy jeans.
Leave it to NCT to release another version of Two Baddies, but this time they're trying to convince you to wear jeans that don't fit you instead of a Porsche. And yes, that is the correct pronunciation of the car.
It's pronounced Porsche.
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 Now that I think about it, this song completely reminds me of that one song I added to one of my annual Back to the Billboards list years ago, when two one-hit wonder rappers decided it was clever to rap about a Rolex watch. I get the exact same vibes from that to this. Oh, and the music itself is just as rancid to listen to. In fact, when it comes to NCT or pretty much anything SM is releasing nowadays, what the fuck even is music to them?
누군가 말해 꿈꿔왔던 나에게
Yep, still as bad as I remembered. I wish I had more to say, but what else could you talk about when you have a vocal song that consists of screaming instead of singing? I know this group does better. I just don't understand K-pop and their obsession with teaching idols how to scream rather than to sing. Like, are you trying to damage their vocal cords on purpose? I have so many questions. Nell is a highly respected K-rock band, and I do suggest their music on a constant basis, but as far as Moonshower goes, where is the music? The audio mixing is just so bad. It's like they're not even singing at all. Alright, honestly, my heart is in a little bit of pain as I was working on the #1 entry, so in order for me to recover just a little bit, here are the rest of the dishonorable mentions from this year.
I'm too spicy for your heart. Like a fire alarm. 심장을 파고드는 너. I'm too spicy.
This song is only good in small doses, but after being forced to listen to it throughout the entire year, it deserves a dishonorable mention to say the very least.
아침 된 것 같아서 넌
No one asked for a for 17 to perform a song inspired by the Dragon Ball anime series, unless it was for the anime itself, which I can confirm it was not. Since it was never used for that purpose, Super is just your typical generic K-pop boy group song. The last thing I expected from 17, at least to be in 2023, was generic. I mean, if it got the anime fans into K-pop, be my guest, but even as an anime fan myself, I thought this was really weird.
I think you like me, I think you like me, I think you like me. You got the juice now.
I hate that SM keeps giving NCT rejects to their other groups, but what I hate more is that Shawwalls are gaslighting themselves to think that this song is actually good enough to be on SHINee's discography.
I'm a baddie, baddie, pretty little risky baddie. 뭐든 될 대로 되라지, catch me if you can.
Whoever told the girls that they could rap was the statement that killed hip-hop in the Korean pop music.
Oh, amazing. Let me see what.
Bow, bow, bow.
Oh, Jesse, you're still here.
Okay.
Oh, and the fact that this song didn't even chart anywhere should tell you guys everything that you need to know. So, one of my elements of putting songs on a worst list is an entry that really pissed me off. Whether it's the lyrics, how it sounds, or how much potential an artist has that was wasted on a track that obviously sounds like it was written within an hour. No one asked these boys to remake In Bloom, but instead of using drums, the drummer is smashing paint cans to get that loudness in the chorus to work. And now we all understand why people hate noise music. I know I watched Everglow Up's video. This is not noise music, but you get the point. For those who thought Zero Base One were going to get the special treatment from Wake One because they're a boy group, I don't think that's happening now with how we went from an awesome debut with In Bloom to a worser debut clone with their first comeback. If Wake One actually gave two shits about Zero Base One, they would have played it safe with Melting Point as the title track single instead of Crush. I guess Bepler really did happen after all.
Right now, 너와 나의 숨길 사이.
Boring.
나에게 trust me, 말을 해보지만 do I believe me?
This had the potential to be good, but their vocals are not it, sis. I really wish someone gave this song to a group with actual vocalists because the song itself isn't bad whatsoever, but it's the girls who sing it that make it worse. And now I'm prepared for Mitzies to come at me like there's no tomorrow.
Live fast, we do it like that, and we don't lie, we wanna be mad.
The only reason why this song is even in the dishonorable mentions in the first place is because it's for a mobile game, which is fine, so it's nothing special, but then again, this is literally a rehash of every other song these girls did. And for those asking, yes, I will be giving Blackpink the Chris Brown Maroon 5 treatment until they stop making music forever. This 100% hurts me to do. I felt bad for plenty of groups or artists on this list because either they don't deserve it or I know they can do better. Writing about this song at the number 1 spot almost made me want to quit this video altogether because for the first time in a while, the number 1 song on a worst list is from an artist or group I admire. Wholeheartedly, actually. So, hearing this song for the very first time and every time after that made me incredibly upset.
Just my poppin' but I'm poppin', watch me.
Oh, no, 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 no. Lionesses. Why? I know they're a group who experiments with their concepts, so I'm not too mad about that. They've had songs I love, and they also have songs that I find okay. This was the first song from them that actually gave me a knee-jerk reaction that's the same as hitting my knee against my desk as I'm trying to get up and fetch dinner out of the oven. Out of all of the sounds for Lionesses to tackle, noise music? No, absolutely not. I forbid it! There shouldn't be an explanation as to why. Lionesses are an artsy boy group. Noise music is not art, no matter how many times ATEEZ, Stray Kids, and Unhypen try to convince you to be so. All I pray is that they don't do this again. I would highly appreciate that they didn't. Now that I think about it, I sound like a complete hypocrite about not being so judgy, but here's the thing. I am open to listening to anything, even if it's by people that I don't like. But when it comes to this form of music, there are better versions of it out there that exist. Papillon is not one of them. Oh gee, that was a lot of rambling about an international music industry that grinds my gears so much. Anyway, that's enough for today. If you guys liked what you saw and heard, please hit the button, share your thoughts in the comments, politely of course, and don't forget to check out my channel for future videos, especially the Back to the Billboards videos that I'm in the works of right now. I'm Cait, and it's been real. Ciao!